The relationship between mind and body has puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries. This enduring question has sparked countless debates and theories, each attempting to unravel the intricate connection between our mental and physical realms. Are they separate entities, or are they two sides of the same coin? This metaphor captures the essence of the ongoing debate, highlighting the complexity and duality of the issue. This question forms the crux of the debate between dualism and the modern neuroscientific view of the mind. Dualism, with its rich historical roots, and neuroscience, with its cutting-edge technology, represent two distinct approaches to understanding the mind. Dualism, with its roots in ancient philosophy, proposes a fundamental distinction between the mind, often equated with the soul or spirit, and the physical body. This perspective has been championed by many great thinkers throughout history, including René Descartes, who famously declared, "I think, therefore I am." This view suggests that the mind operates in a realm separate from the material world, influencing and interacting with the body, but remaining fundamentally distinct. It posits that our thoughts, emotions, and consciousness exist in a non-physical domain. On the other hand, modern neuroscience, armed with powerful tools and technologies, posits that the mind is a product of the brain. This scientific approach seeks to explain mental phenomena through the physical processes occurring within our neural networks. Everything we associate with the mind, thoughts, emotions, sensations, even our sense of self, arises from the complex interplay of neurons and neural circuits within our skulls. This intricate dance of electrochemical signals forms the basis of our mental experiences. This materialistic view reduces the mind to a biological phenomenon, a series of electrochemical signals firing in a complex network. It suggests that our mental life is entirely dependent on the physical state of our brain. While this perspective offers compelling explanations for many aspects of human behavior and cognition, it also raises profound questions about the nature of consciousness, free will, and what it means to be human. The debate continues as we strive to understand the true essence of our minds and their place in the universe. René Descartes, a 17th century philosopher and mathematician, played a pivotal role in shaping the dualist view. His ideas have left an indelible mark on both philosophy and science. He argued for a clear distinction between the mind, which he saw as a non-physical substance, and the body, a purely material entity. This separation of mind and body laid the groundwork for what we now call Cartesian dualism. Descartes believed that the mind interacts with the body through the pineal gland, a small structure in the brain. He considered this gland to be the principal seat of the soul and the place where all our thoughts are formed. This interaction, he proposed, allows us to experience the world through our senses and to act upon it through our physical movements. The mind receives sensory information and then directs the body to respond accordingly.
Cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. This simple yet profound statement became the cornerstone of Descartes' philosophy.
Descartes' famous declaration encapsulates his belief in the mind's primacy. He argued that the very act of thinking is proof of one's existence. He reasoned that our ability to doubt, to think, and to reflect on our own existence provides irrefutable evidence for the mind's independent reality. This introspection is what sets the mind apart from the physical body. And to be aware of our own existence provides irrefutable evidence for the mind's independent reality. This self-awareness is a unique characteristic of the mind, according to Descartes. This Cartesian dualism, as it came to be known, profoundly influenced Western thought, shaping philosophical and scientific discourse for centuries. It challenged scholars to rethink the nature of human existence and the relationship between mind and body. However, it also presented a significant challenge. How can a non-physical entity, the mind, interact with a physical entity, the body, without violating the laws of physics? This paradox has puzzled thinkers for generations. This question, often referred to as the mind-body problem, continues to fuel debate and inquiry today. Modern science and philosophy still grapple with this issue, seeking to understand the true nature of consciousness and its connection to the physical world. Despite the challenges posed by Cartesian dualism, the idea of a mind distinct from the brain continues to resonate with many. This enduring appeal stems in part from the difficulty of reconciling our subjective experiences of consciousness, creativity, and free will with a purely materialist view of the mind. Proponents of dualism often point to the seemingly effortless emergence of thoughts, ideas, and artistic expressions as evidence for a mind that transcends the physical limitations of the brain.
The spontaneous nature of creativity, the feeling of inspiration striking like a bolt from the blue, seems difficult to reconcile with the deterministic view of the brain as a complex but ultimately predictable machine.
Similarly, our sense of free will, the belief that we are the authors of our choices and actions, presents a challenge to a purely materialistic view. If our thoughts and decisions are merely the result of electrochemical processes in the brain, predetermined by our genes and environment, then the notion of genuine free will seems illusory. This deterministic perspective can feel unsettling, as it challenges our deeply held intuitions about agency and moral responsibility.
In contrast to dualism, the prevailing view in modern neuroscience equates the mind with the brain. This perspective argues that all mental phenomena, from basic sensations to complex thoughts and emotions, arise from the activity of neurons and neural circuits within the brain.
Advancements in brain imaging techniques, such as fMRI and EEG, have revolutionized our understanding of the brain, allowing scientists to observe the neural correlates of various mental processes. These technologies provide compelling evidence that specific brain regions are activated during tasks involving language, memory, attention, decision-making, and emotional responses.
Further support for the brain-mind equivalence comes from studies of individuals with brain injuries. Damage to particular areas of the brain can lead to specific impairments in cognitive abilities, personality changes, or emotional disturbances. For example, damage to the frontal lobe, the seat of executive functions, can result in difficulties with planning, impulse control, and social behavior. These observations provide compelling evidence that the mind is intricately linked to the physical structure and function of the brain. To understand how the brain gives rise to the mind, we must first delve into the intricate workings of neurons, the fundamental units of the nervous system. Neurons are specialized cells that communicate with each other through electrochemical signals, forming complex networks that process and transmit information throughout the body.
When a neuron receives a signal from its neighboring neurons, it generates an electrical impulse that travels down its axon, a long, slender projection that connects to other neurons. At the end of the axon, the electrical signal triggers the release of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters into the synapse, a tiny gap between neurons. These neurotransmitters bind to receptors on the receiving neuron, initiating a new electrical signal that propagates through the network.
This intricate dance of electrical and chemical signals, occurring billions of times every second, forms the basis of all brain activity, from simple reflexes to complex cognitive processes. The strength and pattern of these connections, shaped by genetics and experience, determine our individual thoughts, emotions, and behaviors.
While the brain functions as an integrated whole, different regions have evolved to specialize in specific tasks, each contributing uniquely to our overall cognitive abilities. The cerebral cortex, the outermost layer of the brain, is responsible for higher-level cognitive functions such as language, memory, and reasoning. It is the seat of our conscious thought and decision-making processes. Within the cerebral cortex, different lobes are associated with distinct functions, each playing a critical role in our daily lives.
For example, the frontal lobe is involved in planning, decision-making, and working memory, essential for organizing our thoughts and actions. While the parietal lobe processes sensory information and spatial awareness, helping us navigate and understand our environment. Beneath the cortex lie subcortical structures that play crucial roles in regulating emotions, motivations, and basic bodily functions, forming the core of our emotional and instinctual responses.
The amygdala, part of the limbic system, is involved in processing fear and other emotional responses, acting as the brain's alarm system, while the hippocampus plays a critical role in forming new memories, allowing us to retain and recall past experiences. The hypothalamus, located below the thalamus, regulates vital functions such as hunger, thirst, body temperature, and sleep-wake cycles, maintaining the body's internal balance.
This intricate organization of the brain, with its specialized regions interconnected in complex networks, allows us to perceive the world, learn and remember information, experience emotions, make decisions, and interact with our environment in sophisticated ways. Each region, while specialized, works in harmony with others to create a seamless experience of consciousness. Understanding the functions of these different brain regions and their interactions is crucial for unraveling the mysteries of the mind, paving the way for advancements in neuroscience and mental health.